History is filled with lost secrets, but none are as enigmatic or as potent as this one. In the heart of the Byzantine Empire, a substance was created that could turn the tide of history. It was a liquid flame that clung to surfaces and, astonishingly, could not be doused with water. The world came to know it by a fearsome name, Greek fire, or as the Byzantines called it, sea fire. Its recipe was the most closely guarded state secret of the empire, known only to a select few. This substance gave the Byzantine navy a technological advantage that was unmatched for centuries. Naval encounters were forever altered, as entire fleets were repelled by this mysterious fiery liquid. Yet today, despite modern chemistry, the exact formula for Greek fire remains completely unknown. It is a chemical puzzle that has baffled historians, scientists, and engineers for generations. Join us as we sift through the ashes of history to uncover the story of this lost technology. Our story begins in the 7th century, a time of great upheaval for the Eastern Roman Empire. Its capital, Constantinople, was the largest and wealthiest city in Europe, a beacon of civilization. The Golden Horn, its natural harbor, teemed with merchant ships from across the known world. But this prosperity made it a target. The city was under constant threat from powerful adversaries. A new naval power was rising, and its fleets were beginning to probe the empire's defenses. The Byzantine navy, though formidable, knew it needed a decisive edge to protect the capital. Inside the Great Palace, Emperor Constantine IV weighed the future of his empire. He understood that conventional methods might not be enough to secure the city's survival. The empire's greatest minds were put to the task: find a new way to defend the seas. From this crucible of desperation, a technological marvel was about to be forged in utmost secrecy. The solution came from an unlikely source: a man named Kallinikos, an architect from Heliopolis. Fleeing the advance of opposing forces, he arrived in the capital as a refugee, but he carried a secret. He possessed advanced knowledge of chemistry and mechanics, inherited from the great minds of Alexandria. Kallinikos gained an audience with the emperor and presented a truly radical idea. He proposed a device that could project a stream of liquid fire, a substance of his own invention. The court was filled with skeptical murmurs, but the emperor was intrigued by the bold claim. A small, controlled demonstration was arranged. The results were more than convincing. Kallinikos was immediately granted a private, secure workshop and unlimited resources. His family was given a handsome pension and sworn to absolute secrecy for generations. The project, codenamed Sea Fire, was now the empire's highest priority, hidden from the world. So what was in this secret formula? The exact ingredients remain a subject of intense debate. The Byzantines guarded the recipe so effectively that no definitive account has ever been found. Historians believe the primary component was a petroleum base, likely crude oil or naphtha. This would give it the sticky, adhesive quality that made it so difficult to remove. Other proposed ingredients include pine resin, sulfur, and various salts to modify the color and heat. The most crucial element, however, was likely a substance that reacted with water, such as quicklime. This would explain the terrifying accounts of the fire intensifying when crews tried to extinguish it. The combination of these materials created a volatile, self-igniting, and water-resistant incendiary mixture. The production process was likely a state-run enterprise, confined to a single, heavily guarded location. This strict control ensured the secret remained within the empire for over 500 years. The genius of Greek fire wasn't just the chemical formula, but also its delivery system. The Byzantines developed a device known as a siphon, mounted on the prow of their warships. This was not a simple tube. It was a complex mechanism involving a pump and a heated cauldron. The liquid would be heated and pressurized, allowing it to be projected over a considerable distance. A team of specialized operators, known as siphonatories, were required to man this device. Their training was intense, and their loyalty was paramount as they handled the empire's greatest asset. The nozzle of the siphon was often decorated, shaped like the head of a lion or a mythical beast. This added a powerful psychological element, making it seem as if a monster were spewing flames. Portable versions, known as chirosophons or hand siphons, were also developed for use by Marines. This combination of advanced chemistry and engineering made Greek fire a truly revolutionary system. The first major test for this new device came during the Arab sieges of Constantinople. Between 674 and 678, a huge fleet blockaded the city, threatening its very existence. The Byzantine navy, though outnumbered, sailed out to meet the challenge, armed with their new secret. As the fleets closed, the Byzantines unleashed the sea fire for the first time in a major encounter. A roaring jet of liquid flame erupted from the siphons, arcing across the water. The effect on the wooden ships of the opposing fleet was immediate and devastating. Crews who had never seen anything like it were thrown into panic and confusion. Their attempts to douse the substance with water only seemed to make it spread further. The blockade was broken, and the besieging fleet was forced into a disastrous retreat. Constantinople was saved, and the legend of Greek fire was born in the crucible of that encounter. Beyond its physical effects, Greek fire was a potent psychological instrument of statecraft. News of the wet fire or liquid fire spread rapidly throughout the Mediterranean and beyond. Enemy sailors developed a deep-seated dread of facing the Byzantine navy. The mere presence of a dromon equipped with a siphon could be enough to deter an engagement. Foreign powers made desperate attempts to acquire the secret through espionage and bribery. But the secret was too well kept. The penalty for revealing it was severe and swift. Even allies of the empire were denied the formula, preserving the Byzantine monopoly. This technological supremacy allowed a numerically smaller navy to dominate the seas for centuries. The fear of Greek fire became a shield for Constantinople, as powerful as its stone walls. It was a testament to the idea that the perception of power can be as effective as power itself. Decades later, in 717, Constantinople faced an even greater threat, testing the sea fire once more. A massive land and sea expedition, said to involve nearly 2,000 ships, descended on the city. The new emperor, Leo III, knew that the fate of Christendom rested on his city's defense. Once again, the small Byzantine fleet sailed out, their siphons prepared and ready. The opposing commanders, aware of the legend, had prepared countermeasures like vinegar-soaked hides. But the intensity and adhesive nature of the Greek fire rendered these precautions useless. The Byzantine ships moved with precision, disabling key vessels and breaking the enemy's formation. A harsh winter and the disruption of their supply lines sealed the fate of the besieging forces. The once mighty fleet limped away in ruin, with only a handful of ships making it home. This second great victory cemented Greek fire's status as a near-miraculous defender of the empire. The effectiveness of Greek fire was not limited to encounters with Arab fleets. In the 10th century, the empire faced a new naval threat from the north, the Rus. These seafaring traders and raiders launched several major expeditions against the Byzantine capital. In 941, a massive Russ's fleet appeared before Constantinople, catching the Byzantines by surprise. With the main navy away, a small, retired squadron of dromons was hastily refitted with siphons. This small force met the huge Russ's fleet, and once again, Greek fire was the great equalizer. The Rus, who fought primarily with hand-to-hand tactics, had no defense against this kind of standoff tool. Their chronicles describe the Byzantine device as lightning from heaven, a supernatural event. The fleet was scattered, and the expedition ended in complete failure for the northern invaders. Time and again, for nearly 500 years, this remarkable technology preserved the empire from naval threats. It's important to note that incendiary mixtures were not unique to the Byzantines. Many cultures used flaming arrows or pots of burning pitch launched by catapults. The Muslim world also had its own versions, often based on naphtha, which they called naft. However, these substances were different. They could typically be extinguished with water or sand. What set Greek fire apart was its mysterious reaction with water and its pressurized delivery. No other power managed to replicate the siphon system that projected the substance so effectively. This technological gap gave the Byzantines a sustained and decisive naval advantage. Crusaders who encountered it during their campaigns were both terrified and deeply impressed. They described it as coming flying through the air like a winged, long-tailed dragon. The uniqueness of Greek fire lay in the sum of its parts: formula, delivery, and secrecy. But no secret and no empire lasts forever. The decline of Byzantium was slow and painful. Centuries of defending its borders on multiple fronts gradually drained the imperial treasury. The complex industrial base needed to produce Greek fire, and its siphons began to erode. Generational knowledge, passed down through the Kallinikos family and trusted engineers, became fragmented. As the empire weakened, the strict controls needed to maintain the secret began to fail. By the 12th century, some of the secrets may have leaked to the empire's adversaries. They created their own, less effective versions, but the Byzantine monopoly was effectively over. The Fourth Crusade in 1204 was a devastating blow to Constantinople and its institutions. The city was sacked, its libraries burned, and its workshops destroyed, scattering its secrets. After this event, reliable mentions of Greek fire being used by the Byzantines become increasingly rare. By the 15th century, the Byzantine Empire was a shadow of its former self. It consisted of little more than the city of Constantinople and its immediate surroundings. A new technology was rising that would change defensive situations forever: gunpowder and cannons. These new devices could batter down the very walls that had protected the city for a millennium. In the final siege of 1453, there are no definitive records of the Byzantines using Greek fire. The knowledge was likely completely lost, or the resources to produce it were long gone. The city's defenders had to rely on more conventional means, which were ultimately not enough. When Constantinople fell, the last vestiges of the Roman Empire vanished from the world, and with it, the final faint embers of the secret of Greek fire were extinguished forever. The recipe we lost was not just a chemical formula, but a symbol of a lost world. In the centuries since, the puzzle of Greek fire has captivated many. Can we recreate it today? Many historians and chemists have attempted to reverse engineer the formula based on historical descriptions. Experiments using mixtures of petroleum, resins, and sulfur have produced powerful incendiaries. Some have even managed to create mixtures that are difficult to extinguish with water. The key challenge is the self-ignition aspect and the precise nature of the water reaction. Recreating the pressurized siphon system also presents significant engineering hurdles. Handling such volatile chemicals with medieval-era technology would have been incredibly dangerous. This suggests the Byzantines had a level of practical chemical knowledge far beyond their contemporaries. While we can create things that are similar, no one can definitively say they've recreated true Greek fire. The secret of Kallinikos remains safe, locked away by the passage of time. The story of Greek fire is more than just a tale of a lost recipe. It's a testament to human ingenuity in the face of overwhelming odds. It demonstrates how a single technological advantage can alter the course of empires. It highlights the power of information control and the strategic value of keeping a secret. For half a millennium, this substance was the shield and sword of the Byzantine Empire. It saved Constantinople on at least 2 occasions, preserving a bastion of classical knowledge. Its loss is a powerful reminder that knowledge, especially complex technical knowledge, is fragile. Without constant practice and careful preservation, even the most powerful secrets can fade into myth. Greek fire remains one of history's greatest technological mysteries, a true ghost in the machine. A weapon so powerful, its greatest secret was how to make it, and that secret was lost forever. Let's recap the journey of this legendary substance. It began with a city in peril. Constantinople, the jewel of the Byzantine Empire, needed a miracle to defend its seas. That miracle arrived in the form of Kallinikos, a brilliant refugee with ancient knowledge. He proposed a formula, a petroleum-based mixture, possibly enhanced with quicklime and sulfur. This created a sticky, water-resistant substance that burned with incredible intensity. The genius was twofold: the chemical itself and the means of its delivery. A pressurized siphon, an engineering marvel, projected the liquid fire onto enemy ships. Operated by elite crews, it became the Empire's most powerful and feared asset. The secret was guarded with utmost severity, creating a monopoly that lasted for centuries. This combination of chemistry, engineering, and secrecy created a true superweapon of the ancient world. The impact was immediate and profound. It first proved its worth against the great Arab sieges. Outnumbered Byzantine fleets used the sea fire to break blockades and save the city. The psychological effect was devastating. Fear of the fire became a deterrent in itself. It was equally effective against the Russ's seafarers from the north, who called it heavenly lightning. Even the hardened crusaders were struck with awe and terror when they witnessed its power. For 5 centuries, it secured the empire's naval dominance in the eastern Mediterranean. The fear it inspired was a shield for the capital, as formidable as its mighty walls. It allowed a smaller, technologically superior force to consistently overcome larger numbers. Its reputation spread, making enemies think twice before challenging Byzantine naval power. In short, Greek fire didn't just affect ships, it shaped the geopolitical landscape for 500 years. But this golden age of technological supremacy could not last. The empire began to fade. Economic hardship and constant pressure weakened the state's ability to maintain its secrets. The devastating sack of Constantinople in 1204 shattered the institutional knowledge. Libraries were razed, workshops destroyed, and the chain of secret knowledge was broken. After this point, mentions of Greek fire become sporadic, its use unreliable. The rise of gunpowder and cannons offered a new, more accessible form of power. These new tools could achieve what fleets could not: the breaking of Constantinople's walls. By the final siege in 1453, the legendary sea fire was nowhere to be found. The empire's greatest defender was absent at its moment of greatest need. With the fall of the city, the secret was lost for good, fading from history into legend. Consider the alchemist's workshop, shrouded in secrecy and shadow, lit by strange glows. Imagine the immense pressure within the bronze cauldron, the heart of the siphon system. Picture the ornate, fearsome nozzle, designed to strike terror before the flame even appeared. Visualize the Dromon warship cutting through the waves, a perfect fusion of wood, sail, and fire. Think of the sealed scrolls, carrying a secret so vital they were worth more than gold. Envision the great Theodosian walls, the last line of defense for 1,000 years. Remember the opposing sailors, their faces illuminated by a strange fire they could not comprehend. Consider the empty workshop after the fall, a silent testament to a lost art. See the modern lab, where science tries to grasp at the ghosts of ancient chemistry. And finally, the substance itself, a glowing, viscous liquid holding the power of an empire. The tale of Greek fire is a cautionary one. It shows how easily profound knowledge can be lost. We often assume history is a story of constant progress, but that's not always true. Sometimes, skills and technologies disappear, leaving future generations to wonder and guess. The recipe wasn't just written down, it was a living practice, a craft. When the craftsmen were gone and the supply chains broken, the knowledge simply ceased to exist. It serves as a humbling reminder of the fragility of civilization and its accumulated wisdom. What incredible knowledge might we possess today that could one day vanish without a trace? The secret of Greek fire is a ghost that haunts the pages of history. It challenges our modern confidence and reminds us that we don't know everything. Some secrets, it seems, are meant to be kept by history itself. The weapon we lost the recipe for remains one of history's most compelling what-ifs. What if the secret had survived? How might the world be different today? What do you think was in the secret formula? Was it quicklime, naphtha, or something else entirely? Let us know your theories about the composition of Greek fire in the comments below. The mystery is vast, and every speculation adds another layer to this fascinating historical puzzle. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of lost technologies, please consider liking this video. And subscribe for more explorations of history's greatest secrets and forgotten stories. There are countless mysteries waiting to be uncovered in the annals of the past. From forgotten empires to lost inventions, we'll be there to investigate. Thank you for watching. Stay curious and never stop exploring the secrets of our history.